Hey there, let's get this started a few seconds earlier because we do this live in case you're watching this afterwards. Let me make sure the stream is all working as expected, and I'll get started any minute here. So today I have no guests, so I don't have anybody to tell me if the sound is coming in right. Let's put microphone closer. There we go. Just not in my face. That's better. Let's pretend we're starting now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our regular Ham2K chat streams. We didn't have one last week because I was busy with work. That happens, that's life. But we're having one today. And today I just want to talk about our latest release of Ham2K, the April 2025 version of PoLo. Let me find, I should have prepared this, but let me find a nice photo we had for it and share it here on the screen with you. There we go. Let's make this bigger. How do I do this? Maximize. That works. That's a nice photo all the way from Australia. Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Charlie shared it with us on the Ham2K Discord, and I really liked the vibe, the solitude compared to the photo we used the previous week for the March release had a photo with a big crowd out of Hamvention in Orlando. I kind of wanted to go with a more solitary mood that some of our portable operations sometimes have. So went with this photo. I still haven't decided what photo we're going to use for May. So I have a couple of good contenders, but submit them in the forums or the Discord. And who knows, you might make it to the front screen. Where did my camera go? I'm confused by this. Here we go. Applications are so complicated sometimes. I see the chat starting to fill up. Hey, Steve. Hey, Main Girl is making it in today. And Paraig from Ireland. I love when we have international visitors from the other side of the ocean. I need to start doing some earlier streams to make it easier. Or maybe later for the Australian folk to show. But I'm glad to see you guys in the chat. Thanks for joining me. So I wanted to go a little bit over what was in the April release we made public last week. The one of the themes of the latest few releases has been support for the QSO parties. And lately we've had a great team of people helping us add more and more parties. Let me look at my notes here to find the names to acknowledge a few of them. I mean, the main couple, Whiskey 1 Golf Radio Lima and Whiskey 1 Bravo Oscar Yankee, have been helping a lot, entering all of the county names and all of the rules for the different states and verifying things. Kevin Whiskey 8 November India from Ohio was one of the first ones to help collaborate. Kilo Quebec 4 Union Radio United, and of course Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie Brian, my friend, have helped with the last set of QSO parties. And we include Arkansas, Indiana, Tennessee, the New England QSO party, the seven state QSO party, Alabama, New Mexico, Delaware, Kentucky, West Virginia, and the Atlantic Canada QSO party and the Canadian Prairies QSO party. Those were all included in the April release. To be honest, I hope the scoring for these QSO parties works well. This is the first time we do it, so we're going to need help from you guys to test them and tell us what we did wrong. The work will continue, and we'll keep making it better and improving the features. But we need that feedback coming from you guys to tell us what's working, what isn't, and because I'm not doing all of these QSO parties. I try to do a couple here and there, but we need other people using the app to figure out what's working and what isn't. The next set of work we did, I mean, actually, the main theme for the April release was we did a lot of internal updates. Uh, PoLo is written in something called React Native. It's a framework to build apps that can run on Android and iOS at the same time. And we've been using a version of React Native that was a couple of years old. It was the most stable one when we started PoLo about a year and a half ago, but it's been updated and replaced with a newer version in this last couple of years, and it was time to upgrade our framework. And that took a lot of work. That means making sure all the libraries we use were compatible with the latest versions, that there were no bugs. And of course, there were bugs. And of course, not some of the libraries were not really compatible. The main area of problems was the mapping engine. We had to update from a set of components that were using the native maps from Android and iOS to a map engine called Mapbox. That is actually a very good map engine. It uses open source maps from the OpenStreetMap project, and it has a lot of features and flexibility, but it broke the compatibility on some devices, in particular, apparently some older Samsung devices, and then some not so old seem to be crashing when they start the app due to some problem with how Mapbox initializes the library. I'm investigating this and trying to get it fixed. I depend on Mapbox fixing the problem. It escapes the kind of code I have access to or that I normally modify in the PoLo releases. So I'm trying to see what I can push on that side. Sadly, we're not a big player that pays them a lot of money. We don't pay them any money right now. We might have to if the app gets popular, but it's not enough to get their main attention. But we're going to try to figure it out and fix it. Some other people have reported problems with keyboards not showing up, like their phone shows the keyboard and then hides it away. Again, this seems to be a theme with some Samsung phones in particular. I'm trying to come up with a workaround for this. I should be able, I hope so, to make it work. It really pains me to see that some people update the app and it no longer works, and that's something that I don't think it's really acceptable. So I'm working hard on trying to make it as stable and to find workarounds and solutions for that for everybody. I at the same time, I don't want to tie my hands with future development by making sure that every single old Android tablet or even old iPhone devices are supported by the app. But I want to make sure that we cover as many people as possible and that it doesn't crash on people and that it works as expected. So that's we continue to try to figure out what is the problem with the keyboards and the maps and try to fix all of those as quickly as possible. Another thing that has popped up in the app in the last couple of releases and still going on today is problems with bad internet service. We added some features on the April release to deal with some of these things. But for example, last weekend was the Support Your Parks event, the Spring 2025 Support Your Parks event. And it seems to have been very, very popular because the PODA app spot servers were melting down. They stopped responding. And it made PoLo slow. And I think that we can make it better by having, at least when it fails, PoLo will tell you, hey, PODA app is not responding, instead of we keep trying to connect, and that slows down everything. So that some of that code went into April, and we're working into fixing some more of these issues for the May release. And looking at my notes, we added the Mills on the Air, which is a program mostly in Europe. And this follows a long line of contributions to PoLo from Mike One Sugar David Hotel, Steve from England, who's been one of the lead contributors to PoLo. He's added most of the work you see around bunkers on the air and castles on the air and now mills on the air to the app, and I'm really grateful for him to do that contribution because they are programs I don't particularly understand well personally. So his work makes it possible to add it to PoLo, and makes it a much better app and more responsive for more people. So really, Steve, very much thank you for all the work you've done on that, and thank you for Meals in the Air. We need to figure out what else to add uh, for the next versions. And finally, we did a little bit of a feature that Mo Kilo Oscar for Golf Bravo Bravo suggested for supporting the Georgia State Parks in the Air special event that happened early in April. This was actually added before the April release was final, and we actually added it to the March version had some support for it. Um, it's the first, along with the QSO parties, the first special contesting features we've been adding to PoLo, and adding features that lets you see the multipliers, what you've worked before, and all of those things. And I was really glad to add it for Georgia, and we want to add more of those. So if there's a special event coming up that you think PoLo should support, please come by and let us know. Point us in the right direction. Point us at the rules. Try to help us understand what you would need to see in the app to make it easy for you to operate those, and we'll see what we can do. So April was, as you can see, a minor release in terms of new features. It was not that much new code, but it was a lot of work rebuilding the internals, preparing for more stuff to come. And along those lines, I wanted to share a couple of the things we're working on to make for the future versions of PoLo. The first is we're really focusing on cat control. We want to get PoLo to talk to your radios, to get the frequency you're spinning on your dial, or even change the frequency for you when you tap on a spot. And the way we decided to do it, in part because we wanted to make it compatible with iPhones and Androids to connect to different radios, is by using a little device. This is a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. I think is the exact model. This one doesn't have to be this exact one, but that kind of device. The idea is that this device will connect with a USB cable to your radio, to the serial port of your radio, and then it will provide a Bluetooth low energy connection to your phone. And the reason we do it this way is Bluetooth low energy is actually a very efficient way to connect devices with phones, and it's the one that's most publicly supported by both Apple and Android in terms of allowing apps to connect to them. Android is more flexible, and Android will let you connect some serial ports directly via USB cables and some Bluetooth connections. iOS does not let you connect via Bluetooth or direct USB serial to anything that's not a very limited set of special approved partners. But they let you connect with Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE, to all kinds of devices. So this little circuit board, which costs $15-20, well, it used to cost $15-20. I don't know with tariffs how much it'll go for. This will let you connect your radio to your phone. You will have to connect a power source, but a small battery should suffice for typical portable operations. And you connect to a serial port in your radio. It's a little bit like a wireless digi-rig to connect to your phone. And we've seen a lot of progress. We've had some people in the in the Discord, contributing a lot of work towards this. Peter Kilo 6 Papa Lima India in particular did a lot of work on the latest version. Abe KC3WOA has been helping also and looking into using other different boards to actually lower the costs even further. So that's the progress on the cat control front, and I hope we'll have something working in the next couple of weeks. Maybe not too not ready for full public consumption, but ready for testing. And if you're willing to take the risks, well, you might be able to download some development versions and work with that. Another thing I want to show, and this might be exciting for some people, is let me share this screen, and I want to make this my large screen. How do I do this in this app? It's not working for me. Well, I'll make this the bigger and deal with that. Here we go. This is the one of the first few versions of Ham2K Portable Logger Desktop Edition. This is something that will work, you're seeing right now on a Mac computer, but it will work just as well on Windows and Linux devices. And it's working off of a database file that came from the regular PoLo. You can see all your operations like you do in PoLo. You have your contacts. You can even now do things like do quick logging and add the contact to the bottom of the log. I'm still working on a lot of the features. This is very slow progress at the beginning because, well, PoLo has evolved to be a very large code base with a lot of features, and moving them to the desktop version is not trivial. But I've been able to reuse most of the code where it makes sense from the PoLo mobile edition into this version. So once we get the scaffolding, the framework in place, it'll be very, very fast to bring most of the PoLo features into the desktop version. So that is really exciting for me to have this progressing so fast. It will be a couple of months before we have something really stable enough for people to use. But I think it's going to be very exciting to have PoLo mobile and PoLo desktop editions coming up very, very soon. And that's about it. There has not been much progress in the sync side of things, the cloud sync we've been working on. I wanted to I changed priorities to work on PoLo desktop first. We'll see, and we'll probably end up releasing both at the same time because it'll be really make a difference if PoLo desktop can get your logs from your phone directly without you needing to do anything special. But in the meantime, we're trying to figure out how to work on those three main areas: cat control, desktop, and cloud syncing. And it also doesn't mean we're forgetting some of the other PoLo features that we're still working. Little things like the QSO parties will be coming along. Things like supporting for roving operations is something I personally want to get it built into the app as soon as possible. But definitely by the time New York QSO party happens in the fall, I want to be able to do a full roaming operation using PoLo. And trying to bring back the things that are breaking in the April release so that everybody can enjoy PoLo in the devices they've been using. And that's about it. That's the April update about what's new in the PoLo and the future of PoLo. I see a bunch of people in the chat, but no one is asking any questions. So if you this is the moment to ask if you have something you want to know about what's going on with PoLo. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back and work in the code, try to see if I can fix some of those bugs that have been popping up. I hope that everybody had a great weekend with the Support Your Parks event, even if the bands were, as some people called, a hot pile of trash. But it's what it is. And well, I hope to see you all in the air. I'm gonna be in Dayton at Hamvention in a few weeks. Look around for me. I'll be most likely near the PODA tent, or walking around. Find me, stop me. If you ask nicely, I'll even give you a PoLo sticker. And but no, I would love to chat with anybody there who's a PoLo user or who's not a PoLo user, and I want to know why. But find me at Dayton at Hamvention, and let's talk. Other than that, that's it. I'm gonna go back to the cave. Well, I'm in the cave, and work on the next set of PoLo features. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for supporting the app. Thanks for using it. Thanks for your contribution. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the button, hit the bell, hit the likes, leave comments, and all of those things that make the algorithm happy, because a happy algorithm is good for us. And 73, and I'll hear you up in the radio, and I'll hope to get you in my log. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.